Okay, we'll call the land bank meeting to order, October 5th, 2021 at City Hall. Is there any additions to the agenda?
Unless you guys have any.
I'd like to make an addition to the agenda. There's an individual that talked to me about a piece of property we need to discuss.
In the executive session
I
for
believe
purchase,
Yes, I believe that's what it should
so 10 minute,
be. Yeah, 5.
5
That's
minutes.
all.
property accusation. Any other additions? Entertain a motion to approve the additions to the agenda.
So moved.
Motion and second. Any more discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Citizen comments.
Well, yeah, I guess now would be their time to talk, right?
Yeah.
Because one's here for A and one's here for B.
Yeah.
However you'd like to handle that.
I'm assuming you're here for the sheriff's sale part.
Yeah, that 116 South Main.
If you want to go ahead and talk, we'll let you go ahead now.
Well, I have papers that my lawyer that's showing that David had bought this property, but he never got it in his name before he passed away. And so I was just wondering if I could possibly buy it back. I mean, I have Lloyd staying there, and he's been cleaning it up and helping me mow all David's other properties around, so.
Okay. I don't know as we can tell you yes or no on that without speaking to our legal advice on it. That would be something that we would have to, and he's not here, he won't be here till later this evening.
Okay.
So I guess as a legal standpoint, until we discuss it with him, we can't really make a decision.
Okay.
What property is that?
The 116 South Main, the underground house.
Okay.
And just for information on that, when the land bank does sell property, it would have to be like published that we are wanting to sell that, and it would be a 30-day publication, and then it could be able to be moved forward. So it's not going to be an overnight thing. So just to warn everyone.
Okay. We will, either myself or Jamie will get with John, and then somebody will reach out to you and let you know what he says.
Okay.
So,
Good.
okay. And you want to talk about that, or do we just want to do his and then we can ask questions on after we review his application?
However you would like to run it. It doesn't, you don't even have to follow my agenda. It's just however you'd like to run your meeting.
I guess let's just, why don't you go ahead and let everybody look at that, and we'll go on to the consent agenda. Approved meeting minutes from August 31st, 2021. We just need a motion to approve them.
So moved. Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Old business land bank fund is $22,269.98 with the transfer at the end of the year. Does that include what we?
That include, yeah.
That's current to today. Okay.
Yeah. Except those folders, but I don't think they're in there. The only thing that would be out would be AP for tonight.
No.
But I don't know if we had any outstanding. I did not check that.
Maybe a little mowing will be it, right?
I don't even think we have
Did
that.
we we haven't paid for the sheriff's auction yet, or have
Yeah.
we?
Mhm.
So
That's paid.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only
That's out
thing,
of
yeah. And then I guess that's not land bank. But I'll keep that balance on there like you guys had asked. I'll just keep it right there and keep updating it every meeting.
Good.
Where's 302 East who?
That's the one with the,
Those would be the properties that we purchased.
Cleaned up over here?
No. It'd
What-
be your old trailer place and the
Yeah,
property
trailer
to the
house.
north of it that we bought from
Oh,
Yeah.
the guy in
Chicago.
Chicago.
Sorry.
So if you want to go ahead and tell us what you'd like to do down there.
Okay. Looking into starting a small used car dealership, and I'm needing some property to do that. If not, I would also still like to purchase it, just to have the property, to potentially put the house there or something like that.
How do you guys feel? As far as that goes. The only thing I can say, and this will be kind of our decision here. Typically, we've sold lots in the past for $300, but those two lots cost us a lot more than that. So I don't know if the board's willing to sell them at the same as what we have in the past or not.
Are these lots together?
No.
No, that's the one where part of it's, if you see right here, we're gonna be on, like right here on South Pearl, and then right here.
Right across there.
Okay.
what we was talking about.
The south one has the trailer house on it and a little shed, and the north
Yeah.
property is empty.
I see. But you're wanting both?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hmm. Yeah, we spent quite a bit.
Yeah.
We had to deal with a guy clear from Chicago to get those.
Okay.
What would you be interested in making an offer?
Well, I've already written a check for $600 for the cities for it.
If you put a used car dealership, are you gonna put up a structure then, or are you just gonna use it to park the vehicles?
I plan on putting like a shop building there.
Shop building?
Yeah.
And what kind of time factor is that gonna be if you purchase it?
As far as putting up the building, I'd like to have it up within a year. It wouldn't be like a massive building by any means, but just a place I can work out of and have an office space and things like that.
It would take a little bit. We would have to, I think he's already filled out the paperwork here for rezoning as well. Car dealerships are actually a conditional use in the industrial zone. So we would have to go through rezoning with the conditional use permit to be able to make that work. And that is again, probably at least 20 to 30 day process after the planning commission would meet and approve moving forward.
I couldn't see a problem with that because it's right next to the elevator.
Yeah, everything around it is industrial. And that's what I spoke of that all to him, that it's all there, and I looked up what he would need to have it all ready for him, so.
That's really not a prime place for a car dealership, I wouldn't think.
Do you know how big them lots are? Do you remember?
Yes.
And you live there too? Would you
No.
live there?
No, I'm actually, like right now, I have a place in Great Bend. And we just got engaged during the process of trying to find a place or a house back here in St. John.
Okay,
But,
good.
so, just trying to get started, so.
I don't remember what we paid for that. Was it
I think nine.
$9,500
$9,500?
for the 2 pieces of property.
Didn't think it was that much. Initially, we were talking about making a mobile home park there, I think. Wasn't it?
That idea's been kicked around.
Yeah, I think we were gonna try to get some housing in there was kind of the intent of some sort.
Well, I remembered it.
All of these lots. You're looking at. I think it's 1 through 3 and 12 through 14.
So
That's
it's
30 feet
200,
lots. I threw away my notes.
30,
from the
60,
house.
90. So it's 90 by 240.
On that
So,
one.
full block, it goes a block deep.
Mhm. And then this one's gonna be all
I think it's 6 lots. If I remember right.
Those are 40-foot lots. So there's 6 lots on the one and 5 on the other?
I think that's right. The 6 where the trailer is and the other one's a short one.
Got it.
But it's all on one side of the alley, just half a block.
Do you think you would need both of them lots down there?
I would like them both.
And you're definitely moving to St. John?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I like the sounds of that.
Yeah.
And you would take responsibility of cleaning up the trailer and the building and everything?
Yeah.
There's another.
If you did build a house, when do you think that house would be built, or would you be working on it?
Well, to me, that's property down there is not an ideal place to build. But if we weren't able to find a place to buy, I would look into finding a nicer trailer house and put it in there until I could find a good place to buy it here. So I've already got the hookups and everything, I guess, so.
Yeah, it's put in right. It's got an inch gas line to it, and 4-inch sewer going to the main sewer, because I put it in. There's your clean out that you can clean it out with a 4-inch plug in it, right below the ground or whatever, right where it hooks on.
Okay.
Electricity comes in off the highway underground, or after across the alley underground, from that pole. That's heavy enough wire to run about anything you want to run.
Okay.
if we were to sell this, does it have to be published before we can?
You know, probably, because that just changed. Like, between our last meetings, it just changed. Double check me.
I'd be taking an $8,900 hickey. That's where the land bank's gonna come.
Yeah, but if TJ's gonna clean it up, we don't have to do
We don't
that.
have to do that.
Right. And, I mean, we can always put stipulations on the deed. I mean, if he doesn't do something in 2 years, or, you know, if it sits down there for the next 3 years and nothing's ever done, and there's no communication, you can put it to where it reverts back to the land bank. We do have that.
Mm.
Mhm. So that would be, you know, if something fell through and you decide not to move here and decide not to do it, that you wouldn't just own property,
Mhm.
you know, and then if you never cleaned up the trailer house or the building, you know, we wouldn't have to go through what we go through all the time trying to get places cleaned up. It would just revert back to the land bank and we would take ownership of it.
Okay. I don't know a whole lot about that trailer. Is it something that can be fixed, or is it just junk?
No,
I can't tell you. haven't been-
I can.
I couldn't get in, so
I
I
picked the
sent
lock
Marshall.
and I went in there and it just needs to be,
If you don't have-
there's holes in the floor. I mean, and around both doors you can see daylight through the bottom.
Mhm.
I think you could probably take 3 people and just push the thing over sideways. There's not much holding it back together.
So any sale of the land bank now reads that it has to be published 30 days prior to the sale.
To the actual sale.
But there's no case law interpreting. We were talking about it because of like donation, well, because of 302 East First and Broadway since we
Right.
donated it.
Well, I don't think we should get in the way of a young family wanting to do something.
Oh, I don't either, Ted.
I'm not opposed to doing it either. Like I said, I think there should be some stipulations put on the deed. I mean, just,
Which we always do.
Right.
I mean, it's just the way we have to do it, so if the person doesn't follow through, then it goes back,
Mhm.
and then that.
it's not gonna be one of them things if you're halfway through building a building and then, you know, it would be one of them things where there's absolutely no progress, no nothing. That's when we would step in and say, you know, you haven't fulfilled your. But other than that, I mean, you build a house or a shop down there, we're pretty much gonna say, yep, you got it now.
Mhm. Okay.
So,
What if by the chance they won't change the zoning, and then you wouldn't be able to put the dealership down there?
Well, that's definitely a dilemma. I would, I wouldn't have, well, I would still like the property because of the opportunity that I might still have with the property. And I don't know if that's something, I could work out the land bank to just, sell it back, or how that would work.
well, and when could you guys go through? I mean, you could rezone that at any time. I mean, you could start on it, and then we could wait, we could publish it for sale, because we're gonna have to publish it before we can actually approve to sell it.
Right. And we, as the city, would have to, as the land bank, would have to apply to rezone. Because it has to be the property owner.
Not for a special use.
It's a conditional use permit. Don't you still have to rezone it industrial?
Not on conditional use.
So why is there conditional use in each district?
So that you can do that. So you can do something that it's not designated for by doing a conditional use.
We're just gonna
I
start
think
doing
that's
those.
correct.
I know it's correct.
You did it.
And
then we-
one of the deals we changed when I was on the council when we redone the zoning books. Because you couldn't build anything,
You couldn't put a business on a residential property without a conditional use permit.
that is
Because
correct.
they were not going to rezone a residential area to commercial.
Correct.
So in order to do it, you had to get a,
Conditional use.
yes.
We fought tooth and toenail over that deal.
I'm glad we cleared that up.
So really, it should be a conditional use for him to use the property as that.
DBA.
Mhm. So it wouldn't really be rezoning it.
Okay.
So I mean,
So most likely.
the zoning could go through with approving a conditional use prior to us,
Right.
and he would know whether they're gonna allow that
Before the sale was
before
through.
the actual sale went through.
Because it would probably be easier and better for you to know going in before you
Absolutely.
buy it.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So I think that,
Okay, is it our responsibility to pay that $100 fee to rezone that, or is that the buyer?
There won't be, well, there's just an application fee, I think, isn't there?
The
I thought it was
conditional.
$100.
No, not for conditional.
No.
Conditional is $75.
75.
Unless it was changed after 16, but I don't remember doing it since I've been here.
I'm gonna say,
Any fee
I
structure?
knew it was some kind of fee, I didn't know what it was. Thought it was 100.
I think it's, I don't know, it's been a long time since I paid that fee.
do you have a problem paying that fee if you need to do the rezoning?
No.
Possibly 75 or 100?
No, I don't
And I
have a problem with that.
had spoke with him about that as well.
Okay.
I think I might have told you 50.
Yeah, 50 to 100, so, yeah.
So I would say is that we're all in agreement after publishing it that he can go ahead and move forward. And after the published date, we can agree to the sale.
Yeah, I think we ought to put some conditions on when that trailer's got to be moved and destroyed till we get it out of there. If it can't be salvaged, then it needs to go away.
Right. Well, I
And
can
that will
assure
be
you,
be his responsibility.
right. And really, I don't know about the building down there. That building might be something you keep around for a little bit anyway. It doesn't look all that, other than the walk-in doors are a little floppy, but I walked around the building and it doesn't look,
At one time, it was a pretty good little
it
building.
looked like it was pretty solid, other than the big folding doors that are a little weathered.
I hadn't looked at it in years.
Yeah, I'd be in favor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, assuming our newspaper publishes what I send them, it should go into the newspaper the 13th. And then we could do another meeting at 6, the 3rd Tuesday of November, which would be the 16th. And that would give us plenty of time.
So it's gonna put you a little bit behind, but in the meantime, you could also
We can work on
do the
conditional
zoning
use.
stuff and, you know, so as soon as the sale's approved, you could go to work.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I can start with going forth with the zoning?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
And then we'll just get with John,
On how to publish.
yeah, and have the stipulations,
Mm-hmm.
and which Jamie can get with you, and that way you can look over them before we ever make a decision and make sure you're good with everything.
Okay. I would definitely like to leave the shed. I see some potential with that. Guy could probably do some fixing on that and still make it a decent little shed
Right.
to keep mowers or something in, so.
Yeah, like I said, when I was down there, I think it's locked, padlocked or whatever, but the doors look a little like they could be repaired, but the rest of the building looked like it was in pretty decent shape.
Mhm.
But
I'm sure it needs a roof on it.
it might, maybe, I
I would
don't know.
guess, I put the roof on it, but that's been 25 years ago.
Maybe it's been longer than that.
40, I don't know, been a little while.
So, okay. I think tentatively we'll just plan on moving forward with it then.
Okay.
So,
Trim through all the hoops.
We've already discussed the sheriff's sale property discussion. I would entertain a motion for a 5-minute executive session to discuss property acquisition to include everybody at the table.
So moved.
Got a motion
Second.
and a second?
Bobby, you got me there.
All in favor? We will adjourn at 6:32.
Old house.
Call the meeting back to order.
Is that Snell house, is
Yeah,
it?
I don't think it's livable.
And
No.
could it be redone? You know, if somebody could redo it, it'd be a house in town. We keep tearing them down and,
Yeah. Come get me some time and we'll go over there.
okay.
I'll let you know.
The reason I was asking, I think Mary Bieberly's boy has been buying a few houses in these rural communities and
Flipping
redoing
them?
them. I don't know that for a fact, but
Yeah.
I was told that.
It'd be nice to reach out to someone that has been doing that, because it's definitely a need.
But
if I was more handy, I
if
would
there's
do it.
something that could be repaired, I really think we ought to be thinking about a little bit of maybe
Yeah.
salvaging some stuff instead of tearing it down. Don't you, Chad?
I do.
We need some houses bad.
I'm a little indifferent on the house just because of the condition, but could it be salvaged?
Well,
Maybe.
could it be
That would,
Right.
yeah, I mean,
remodeled?
Right. Right.
and that would take somebody smarter than me to tell them, because
Yeah,
I'm
me too.
not a carpenter. I don't,
I mean, I could tell you yes, but the budget probably wouldn't work for me, so.
Yeah, you're not talking about us remodeling, right?
No,
Yes.
absolutely
you're
not.
talking about selling the house to somebody that would be interested in
Interested in
remodeling it and then turning around
Yeah.
and selling
If
it.
it's feasible to do, you know, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, I have a little pet mouse that's been in there. When did I go check properties?
I don't know.
Almost a whole year. It's still been in there. It's still there. I checked on it.
Is there anything else we need to discuss for the land bank?
Every house probably got mice in it.
If there's no other business, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.